welcome to WQLN PBS Homeroom. I'm Miss Debbie and I'm so glad to be here with you today. I love teaching and I love learning right along with you. Today we're going to start out with some of our positive thoughts. Are you ready? I'll say them first and then you repeat after me. Say, I am smart. I am kind. I am brilliant. I'm a leader. I love being me. Wonderful. Oh, I love starting that way with you. Well, today we're outside because we are going to talk about being amateur meteorologists. Oh, that's a huge word. Can you say that with me? Amateur meteorologists. Oh my goodness. They're big words, but they mean easy things. Amateur is if something is new. You're new at it. You're beginning to learn about something. A meteorologist is someone who studies the weather. That's why we're outside today. We are going to talk a little bit about being amateur meteorologists. And today there's one specific part of weather that I want to talk to you about. And to give you a hint, I'm going to sing a song to you to see if you know what type of weather we're going to talk about. Ready? It goes like this. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Little Avon wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. Can you guess? The rain, yes. I'm going to sing the song again, and this time I'm going to put a different name in. Ready? Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Little Ryan wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. One more time. Be good listeners. If you can know the words, start singing with me. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Little Janice wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. You think you're ready to sing with me? Okay, this time when I sing the person's name, I'm going to stop and you say your name. Ready? Okay, here we go. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Little wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. Great job. Well, today we're outside at my house and we're out here because it was raining today. And it was raining so bad I couldn't even come out to do my video. But look, can you see the ground? Can you see how wet it is? It definitely was raining at Miss Debbie's house. I wonder if it was raining at your house today. Was it raining at your house? Well, it's windy today and it's too windy to be out here. So how about we go inside and we learn a little bit more about rain. Whew, welcome to my kitchen. Thank you for coming in with me. So to be meteorologists, we need to learn a little bit about weather and rain and where rain comes from. So I have this book called Rain. It's by Cassie Mayer, and it just talks a little bit about what weather is and a little bit about rain. Let's read and find out. What is weather? Weather is what the air is like outside. Weather can change all the time. Rain is a type of weather. Rain is water that falls from the clouds. You smarties already knew that, didn't you? Yeah. But how does that water get up there? And then why does it fall? Let's read to find out. This is a raindrop, and inside those drops are little droplets. Raindrops are made from tiny drops of water. And the tiny little drops are called those water droplets. So they gather together and make a raindrop. Up here in the sky are those tiny, tiny little water droplets. And it says water droplets are made from water vapor. We'll learn more about that in just a second. Water vapor is part of the air outside. And it's showing you water vapor, and it says that water vapor can come from oceans and lakes. You notice in the pictures you've seen the sunshine. The sun and the heat from the earth is sort of dissolving that water up into the sky, and it's making it into a vapor. Water vapor comes from oceans and lakes, and this is something new Miss Debbie didn't know. Water vapor comes from plants and even animals. Oh, I love learning with you. The water vapor rises into the air, and the water vapor forms those little water droplets. The water droplets form the raindrops, and the raindrops go up. They form clouds, and then they fall from the clouds when the clouds get a little bit too heavy to hold all those drops. Pretty interesting. I have a little experiment to show you a little bit more how that works. Are you ready? Good, me too. This is something fun you can do at home. You'll need some water. You'll need a jar or a cup, some shaving cream, and food coloring. Okay, kiddos and adults, you can find all the fun directions on how to do these activities on our website, WQLN.org, our Learning at Home page. So that's always fun. It has ideas for this and lots of other things as well. Okay, so you take your glass jar or your cup, and you're going to fill it about halfway up with water. And we're actually going to pretend, oddly enough, that this is air. So we're going to pretend that this is the air. And I think I'm going to fill it a little bit more halfway. There we go. So this is the air, and this is going to be our cloud. I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to spray it right in this jar. And the clouds, just like our real clouds, are going to sit on top of the air. Oh, that's a big cloud. When those big fluffy clouds get a little bit dark and they're all filled up and they're ready to drop down, the water drops into rain. I'm going to show you what it kind of looks like here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blue food coloring and pretend that this is more and more of that water vapor coming up and adding to the clouds. And we're going to see what happens. I can add a couple drops. Not too much happens. My cloud can hold more drops of rain. But what happens when all those vapors turn into the droplets, and the droplets turn into drops, and they form those clouds, and those clouds start to get thicker and heavier? Oh, I think it's going to start happening. Watch down in here. Look what's happening. Can you see the blue? I'm going to hold it up. The blue is starting to fall into the air, and the more and more drops that we put into our cloud, the more it can't hold and it drops down into the sky. I'm going to add some more water droplets, and I'm going to bring the camera a little closer so you can see. My friends, look at all of this rain, the blue drops going down into the sky. That's what brings it down to us. So that's a lot of raindrops coming down into our sky, and that's why it was raining earlier at Miss Debbie's house, and maybe even at your house too. Do you remember that song that I sang when we started out? Rain, rain, go away. Yes. As much as sometimes we don't like it to rain, it's very important that it does rain. Do you know why it's important that we have rain? Can you shout out a couple more reasons? Yeah, exactly. If you said things like to water our plants outside and our trees, or if you said maybe even that animals need water outside, you were right. And even to give animals drinking water and to give us water. If you said those things, you were right. All living things need water to survive. So even though we might not like rain all the time, it's very good for us and good for our environment, and we definitely need it. Sometimes it rains a little bit. Sometimes it rains a lot. You know, when it comes down really hard. Yeah, all different kinds of rain. Do you ever wonder how much rain comes down? Sometimes I do. When it sprinkles, I say, oh, we didn't get much rain today. But earlier today at my house, it was raining so much the water was pouring off of my roof. Do you ever hear that? The water's pouring down. Yeah. Well, I'm going to show you another way that we can be meteorologists, and we're going to learn how to make a rain gauge together, one that you can use and put outside, and you can see how much rain you get at your house every time it rains. How much fun! Definitely. Okay, you're going to need to get a few supplies ready when you do this. And again, your adults at home can find it on our Learning at Home page. So the things that you'll need for your rain gauge, you need another jar, or you can use anything like a 2-liter bottle of pop jar, a bottle of water, any kind of plastic container or glass that you have. You're going to need a ruler or a tape measure. And I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. We're going to need a little bit of water. Now, if you're using plastic, what you'll need to do is put some pebbles in the bottom of your container. That way, when you put it outside, it won't tip over from side to side. Okay? My container is heavy enough, I don't think it'll tip over. But I do notice that it's not completely flat down here at the bottom. So what I want to do is I'm going to have to add some water to the container to start with a baseline, to give myself a baseline where I know that this is my point 0. So I want to go right at that flat part, and I think that's perfect. The next thing that we'll want to do is find that food coloring, just so you can see, just for purposes here, so you can see where my water line is. My baseline is right here at the bottom, where that right blue line is. Mix it all together. So that'll give me a nice level point to mark that I can start with. And any water that goes up, however much rain we get, it'll add water and move it up. We can measure that amount. So what you'll need to do is you can mark right on your jar, or you can do what I did. I have a piece of masking tape. I'm going to lay my masking tape flat down here, and I have a ruler, or you can use a tape measure. Actually, I think I'm going to move it this way. So you can use a tape measure, or you can use a ruler. I'm going to set my ruler right down at the bottom. Let's see, I have to find the 0. Here's my 0 point. I'm going to line it up at the end, and Miss Debbie's going to start marking every 1/4 of an inch, and you can have an adult definitely help you mark your points. So I have my 1/4 inch, my 1/2 inch, my 3/4, and my inch. And you can keep drawing your lines on your tape so you can see. Oh my goodness, I need to use my ruler. I can't see. There we go. That's better. There's my 1 inch, my 1/4, my 1/2, my 3/4, and my 2-inch mark. I think I'll go a little bit more. So my 1/4 inch, my 1/2 inch, my 3/4, and my 3 inches. And then we'll go a little bit further. So, and then I'm going to mark on number 1 inch. Here would be 2 inches. This line is 3 inches. and this line is 4 inches. And you could keep going however tall your jar is. And I did a lot of research on this. It actually does not matter what size jar you have. It'll all work the same as long as you start with your level bottom. And I'm going to put my masking tape, I think I'll do it on the side closest to me, right level with that line. There we go. And then I'm going to tape it on here really well, push it down really well. And you might even want to use a better tape to put over top of it so your numbers don't get all washed away. So you could continue to wrap that around and keep it so the rain doesn't wash those numbers off. So here's what you have as your baseline here. Once I stop moving the jar, it'll be nice and flat. And then depending on how much water we get, we're going to pretend this is water, we'll watch that rise up and we can see how much rain that rained in whatever amount of time you're looking at. So if I put this much water in, we'll say it's raining and it's collecting all of this water. Wow, that would be a lot of rain all of a sudden. So we started down at the 0 mark, and actually it's right up at 1 inch. That would say that we got 1 inch of rain. And something fun that you can do is have a journal started, or just track it on a piece of paper and write what day it rained and how much rain you got. And then each time you would want to dump it out in the sink or outside in the ground, or maybe save it and water some flowers with it. And then you could restart your baseline again at 0 and see how much rain you would get the next time it rained. Just be careful when you're setting this outside that it doesn't get a lot of splash water. Like when I said Miss Debbie's rain was coming off of her house, like it was pouring down. You don't want to get all that in the one spot. You kind of want to put it out in the middle of your yard or the middle of a sidewalk where it's not going to get extra splashes and misconstrue your results, to mix up your results for you. So just a really fun experiment you could do together with your family or your brothers and sisters or even your friends so that you can become amateur meteorologists as well. All right, kiddos, my time is coming close to an end, so I say let's cuddle in together for story time. Thank you for joining me here in my living room. I have a story to share with you about 2 kids who actually like the rain. They don't want it to go away. Our story is called Puddles, and it's by Jonathan London, and the pictures are by Brian Carras. So in this story, after a night of rain and thunder comes a shiny new morning, and these kids go out and play in it. And I didn't ask, do any of you like to play in puddles? Some of you do. I remember one day I was walking with my son and we were trying to get out of the rain and trying to stay dry, and I said, you know what? Let's just give into it and let's play. And we splashed in the puddles in the sidewalk all the way down to the store we were going to. We had so much fun. It reminds me of this book. Maybe you'll have a connection to the book too. It's called Puddles. All night, the slash of rain and the flash of lightning and the kaboom of the thunder rattling the house and all the windows. We cuddle between fright and glee, and we want it to stop, but yet never stop. Do you feel that way sometimes? Sometimes the rain's really loud and you think, oh, stop. And other times, just let it go and enjoy the sounds. Well, in the morning, it does. Like a curtain rising and shining on a new day, a day of brightness and blue, a sky wiped clean of the last cloud. So that cloud must have gotten really, really full like ours in the experiment, and all the raindrops came down. And then the cloud was emptied and it wasn't there anymore. We walk outside to the sweet chatter of birds filling the trees and breathe deep the clean air. Watch out for puddles, Mama hollers. Don't get wet. Mama's silly. The needles glisten and listen. The drip, drip, drip from the eaves and the leaves. Look, the sparkle of a million suns in a million drops. So the sunshine is sparkling off the raindrops. It's a beautiful sight. We follow baby rivers trickling and snaking down ditches and into fields. Look at the kids in this picture. Don't they look like they're having so much fun? Puddles, big ones and little ones and long ones and skinny ones. Pieces of sky on the ground. It's time to puddle jump. Splish, splash, splash. Mud sucks at our boots. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Can you imagine how that sounds and how that feels when you've been out in the mud before? We kneel and we watch the worms squirm and stretch and leave tiny trails in the muck like sloppy writing. They're learning their ABCs of weather and rain and sun and mud. Then we slog down through wet grass towards the pond and what lives there, celebrating all the new water and the new life. Remember we talked about how important water was for all the living creatures? They are thankful for the water. At the pond, it's time for the frogs to play, and we want to play with them. Leapfrog, leap, hop, flop, plop. Birds flap from the trees, and we think the trees are applauding. We bow and we say, "Bye, frogs," and we turn towards home. Puddles, big ones, little ones, long ones, skinny ones, pieces of sky on the ground. It's time to puddle jump again. We can hit every puddle from the pond to the meadow. Splash, splash, splash. Are you thinking of maybe a time when you were splashing in the puddles? I hope that if you do, you wore some rain boots so your toes wouldn't get all wet. We slog through the wet grass and suck up the mud with our boots. Slurp, slurp, slurp. We skip beneath the leaves and the eaves. Drip, drip, drip. And we drip in the doorway shouting, "We're home!" "You're wet," Mama howls. Do you think she's going to let them come through the house all drippy, wet, and muddy? Let's see. On a morning after rain, it's time to soak in a hot bath. Wiggle dry in a warm towel. Get dressed and drink hot chocolate. So she made them come in and get all cleaned off. I don't think I'd want all that mud in my house either. We'd have to get changed at the door. But then they run outside again to puddle jump, splish, splash, splash. That was a good book. It brings back some good memories for me, and I hope that you have some good memories of you maybe out playing in puddles, or maybe one of these warm spring days, you could make some new adventures and play out in the puddles. Thank you for joining me today and becoming amateur meteorologists. I hope you remember the fun we had learning about the rain coming down once the clouds got too full. And if you notice, my rain cloud is starting to get smaller because some of that rain is down in the air. Maybe you can make a rain cloud experiment as well. And don't forget about your rain gauges. Make sure to get that nice level line at the bottom, that baseline to start, and then you can count right up and know how much rain you get each time it rains, and save that rain for your flowers or the animals outside. They would love it. My friends, thank you for joining me on this wet, drippy journey today, and thank you so much for being a part of our day. Kiddos, remember, keep reading, keep learning, and keep watching WQLN PBS, where learning is brought to life. Thank you so much.